If you're a Turkish medical device manufacturer looking for your next big move, I want you to pay close attention. There's one market that has just incredible potential right now: Saudi Arabia. It's big, it's growing like crazy, and in this explainer, we're going to give you the strategic guide to unlock it. Let's get right into it.
So, why Saudi Arabia? Why should it be at the very top of your list? Well, just look at this number, nearly 26 billion US dollars. That is the projected value of the kingdom's medical device market by 2034. It's a massive figure that just screams opportunity. But it's the trajectory here that tells the real story. The market is on track to nearly double in less than a decade, jumping from around $13.5 billion in 2025. This isn't just some slow and steady climb. We're talking about a rapid, sustained expansion. It's fueled by a compound annual growth rate of over 7%. That's serious momentum.
Okay, to help you make sense of this all, we've laid out a pretty clear roadmap. We'll start with the size of the opportunity, then look at the government strategy that's driving it all. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the regulatory hurdles, why local partners are so crucial, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with an actionable checklist to get you started.
All right, let's dive in. Let's start by really understanding the sheer scale of this $25 billion opportunity. I mean, where is all this demand actually coming from? Well, the demand is overwhelmingly concentrated in one place: hospitals. They make up a whopping 58% of the entire market. Now, this is a super important insight because it tells you exactly where your focus should be. These institutions have the most purchasing power, and they are constantly looking for the latest and greatest in diagnostic and surgical tech. And listen, this isn't just a regional story. The kingdom isn't just the biggest medical device market in the Middle East. It's also one of the top 20 in the entire world. That kind of scale means that getting a foothold here, really succeeding here, can completely transform your export business. So, what's behind this incredible growth? What's the engine? Well, the single biggest factor is a national strategy called Vision 2030. The best way to think of it is like a powerful tailwind, just pushing the entire healthcare sector forward at an unbelievable speed. Vision 2030 is basically the kingdom's ambitious master plan to diversify its economy and totally modernize its public services, and healthcare is right at the heart of it. This translates to massive government investment in building brand new hospitals, entire medical cities, and integrating cutting-edge digital health and telemedicine platforms.
And if you want to see just how committed they are, here's the number that matters: $65 billion. That's the investment specifically set aside for this healthcare transformation. For a Turkish supplier, that number represents a huge pool of potential contracts.
But of course, an opportunity this big is going to be protected by a pretty significant gatekeeper: the regulatory system. So let's talk about the single most critical hurdle that you have to clear to get into this market.
You absolutely have to know this acronym: SFDA, the Saudi Food and Drug Authority. They are the one and only regulatory body for all medical devices. Getting SFDA registration isn't just a good idea, it is a non-negotiable legal requirement. Put simply, without their approval, your products cannot be sold in the kingdom, period.
So what's on the checklist? Well, a lot of it will look familiar: a valid CE or FDA certificate and your ISO 1345. Now, here's what's crucial for Turkish companies. You also need a free sales certificate from your home authority, the TITCK. That's the Turkish Medicines and Medical Devices Agency. On top of that, you've got to get ready for Arabic labeling and an official letter authorizing your in-country representative. Here's how the process generally breaks down. First, get your existing certifications in order. Then, apply for that free sales certificate from TICTK, and trust me, this can take a while, so start early. While that's in the works, get your Arabic translations done. And this is critical: appoint your licensed Saudi representative. They are the ones who will actually submit your file through the SFDA's online portal, which kicks off a technical review that usually takes anywhere from 3 to 9 months.
Now, once you've got the regulatory wheels turning, you need to think about the commercial side. In a market like Saudi Arabia that's so driven by relationships, finding the right local partner isn't just an advantage, it's everything. It's your key to accessing the biggest buyers.
And when we talk about public sector buyers, one name is more important than any other: NUPCO. That's the National Unified Procurement Company. They manage all the centralized tenders for most of the government hospitals. We're talking about an organization that oversees an estimated $32 billion in contracts. They are the gatekeeper to the public market.
And this right here is the key takeaway. To sell to the public hospital system, which remember is the biggest part of the market, you need a local distributor. But not just any distributor. They must be registered on NUPCO's official supplier list. This is your non-negotiable gateway to those huge government tenders.
Now, the good news for you as a Turkish manufacturer is that you're not starting from zero. There's already a really strong trade relationship between Turkey and Saudi Arabia, and that provides a fantastic foundation. You should absolutely be leveraging this goodwill and the established Turkish business communities in Riyadh and Jeddah to get those all-important introductions.
Phew! We have covered a lot of ground. The size of the prize, what's driving it, the regulations, the partnerships. So let's bring it all home and condense it into a final actionable checklist to help you kickstart your market entry strategy.
Okay, here are your next steps. Number 1, get an experienced Saudi regulatory consultant on board and do it early. Plan to exhibit at the Saudi Health Exhibition. It is the best place to meet buyers and find partners. Focus your distributor search on companies that are already on that NUPCO list. Appoint your licensed Saudi authorized representative, your MDE. And finally, get the paperwork started now. Apply for that certificate from TITCK and get all your materials professionally translated into Arabic.
So, the path is pretty clear. The Saudi market, it demands a serious investment of time and resources in compliance and in building relationships. But the reward is access to one of the largest, best-funded healthcare systems on the planet. The opportunity is definitely there. The only question left is, what's your next move?